Welcome back to another episode of Doom Eternal. Last episode,
Buff Totem. Hold on. Can we get a replay? Super slow-mo of Buff Totem nearby. Thank you.
There's a buff totem
There was a Buff Totem nearby.
nearby.
Within proximity. What
Hello.
other... on the last episode we were talking about Legend of Korra, and what other show has been through, like, insanely shitty production hell like that?
Almost like every anime.
Well, here's the thing. There are, like, a lot of anime are based off of manga or light novels. And there have been the case, like, which I did some foresight research about Hunter x Hunter. Like, the reason Hunter x Hunter, like, 1999 Hunter x Hunter, like, ends where it at, it's literally because, like, there was no fucking other chapters to adapt at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing that happens now with a lot of anime, too, is that, like, for example, I think Origairu is, season 3 is coming out next month, right?
Yep.
And, it was, I think the second season for that show came out in, like, 2015 or something. And, like, the third season barely just
It's been
came
a
out.
while.
Yeah, no, it, like, what was another show like that? I think it was Origairu.
Attack on Titan was another one. From season 1 to season 2.
You're playing jump rope with the fucking things.
Shut up. Yeah. I'm killing demons like a cool man.
Oh, for example, Bunny Girl Senpai. The first season adapts, like, the first 5 volumes, and the movie adapts the 6th and 7th volume, and the story is currently on the 10th volume. So, like, that's why there's no season 2 of that show. There's just not enough
Damn.
material to adapt, and
I wouldn't really call that a production issue because, I mean, they could just wait. But what is a production issue is what happened to One Punch Man and Seven Deadly Sins.
Hold on, I know nothing. Hold on. I know nothing about Seven Deadly Sins except that one picture of the horrible drawing of, like, the guy in bed. He's, like, so buff.
So, like, what happened
Larry, put it up, please. Thank you.
with Seven Deadly Sins season 1, I think it was Aniplex or something. I forgot the studio.
I'll look it up, though.
It was a good studio.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is, for some reason, okay, so there's season 1,
Yeah.
and then there's season 2, but that season 2 was like OVA episodes put together and was called season 2.
Okay.
And then the season 3, which was the legitimate season 2, came out. So, right there, like, why are they making OVAs? Now, they make the OVAs. Nobody likes them.
Created by A1 Pictures.
Okay, A1 Pictures. So they make the third season, which is just second season basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make a movie that bombs. Does horrible. And then A1 Pictures just like, we don't want this shit no more. And so they just hand it off to another studio, and they had, like, I don't know how, they had like less than a year to finish season 3 and, like, make it.
Sequel.
So, like, it's not even like they had no time to make the, like.
So as far as I can tell,
show.
The first season, 2014, was A1. The quote-unquote second season, which is the OVA bunch, was also done by A1. It doesn't say right here for the second season. It doesn't give a studio, but for the third season, it says it was done by Studio Dean.
And Studio Dean makes can make good stuff, but because of how little time they had, it was awful.
Yeah.
Like what came out. Really bad animation, really bad just not even like just art in general. And it was I'm not gonna say it had the best art in anime the first 2 seasons, but it was watchable.
Yeah. I think A1 did Bunny Girl Senpai too. A1 does a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and then One Punch Man. What happened there is that I think the first anime came out 2015, 2013?
2016, right? That's when I first started hearing about it.
So
somewhere around there.
First season has the greatest production of all time. It's Madhouse, and they're just getting a bunch of amazing animators from different studios to like work on it as like
Akira
freelancers. Yeah, so like first season comes out, is praised for its animation. It's praised for basically everything, and because the author actually has good stories. He knows how to. Well, there's 2 authors. There's one who's the actual like the guy making. He's the mangaka, and then there's the redraws. Who's like I think his name is Yusuke Murata or something. Who is just can make these beautiful, just panels of just manga. Like he's amazing at drawing, and so okay, so season 1 comes out, everyone loves it, and then silence for the rest of the time. Everyone's like, oh, One Punch Man season 2 is gonna be insane. That shit gonna go hard. And then word gets out that it's not the same studio anymore. It's like JC staff who's really all they've done is like slice of life stuff and not really action stuff. And so everyone was like, oh fuck. But everyone was still optimistic, kind of.
Yeah.
But then the anime came out, and then like the preview came out of the anime, and it was weirdly like shaded. It didn't look the same. It was so weird, and it had like a lot of like weird effects for no reason. Like they put like a bunch of just like chromatic aberration or whatever and all that jazz. But I heard it was still like good to watch because the story's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched Seven Deadly Sins, so I can't really talk on that. But I've heard that it was on a decline in the manga. I don't know if the decline starts for season 3 is, but
so this is we talked about Origairu a few times. I think I mentioned it before, but just because we're on this topic, the first season of Origairu was done by Brains Base, which is not a studio I'm familiar with. They did Bacano. And they did Inspector. Okay, so that's them. The first season was in 2013. Then the second season, which was in 2015, they give it to Studio Feel. And the third season rather, is also done by Studio Feel. I find it weird that like to just switch companies doing it just in the middle of the show.
That was in the middle of the show.
Season 2 and 3 have the same company doing that, but season 1 has a different studio doing it.
Oh, I thought you meant like season 1 in the middle, like episode 13 was like made, and the rest of it was like made by a different studio.
No, but it was.
Studio changes happens a lot.
It does happen, but they at least most of the time when they do studio changes, they'll at least usually try to keep the same art style, if not the same art style, the same like art focus, which is what they did for Sailor Moon Crystal, which is, I believe, the first 2 seasons were done by a different studio, and the third one, I don't remember who did it, but it's clearly animated differently, but it's not animated in a way where like you're jarred by there being a transition, right? But like the difference is with Origairu, like there is such a difference in the art style that like you're like, what the fuck happened?
Currently Attack on Titan season 4 is being what?
Why is there whoa.
Attack on Titan season 4 has a it's not a new studio, but it's a new subdivision that they're creating of the production IG. So it's not, we don't know if it's gonna be like the same guys or not, but it could be. So it's just very
up in the air.
up in the air about how that's gonna turn out. Hopefully it's good, because season 4 is gonna be probably the best season of Attack on Titan.
One day I'll go back to Attack on Titan.
I mean, I've heard Moy was the biggest Attack on Titan hater, and I got him back around on it.
I mean,
So if I could get Moy back on it, you could probably come around to it.
maybe. That's the thing though. Like, I don't want it to seem that like I hate the show vehemently and I'm not willing to give it another shot. Like, Sasha is that way about it, because like she did watch the first season too, and she also didn't like it. But oh, hey, floppy disk, let's go.
Yeah.
She also watched the first season and didn't like it, but like, and she's like, "You're actually gonna go back to it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm eventually gonna go back to it." And she's like, "Why?"
It's highly praised. What I will say is, okay, season 1 overrated. Season 3 was underrated when it was coming out, but because of word of mouth and Attack on Titan episodes getting #1 rating in TV shows of all time in IMDb, more people started watching it and seeing the greatness of it.
I mean, it also could be that I end up watching it again and I still don't think it's good. I haven't ruled out, like, that could also happen too. There's a fine line to me of like something being disliked because it's overhyped and something being disliked because you just genuinely don't like it. I feel now, in perspective, I probably didn't like season 1 of Attack on Titan as much because I knew how much everybody was creaming their pants over it. But oh, cool.
I'm not really one to hate on stuff that's just because it's popular, or
Neither am
I can understand
not
when
really,
people
but
overhype stuff. It can't. When people overhype stuff, it never lives up to the hype.
Yeah, no, I guess
usually.
that was the biggest problem for me of why I disliked it so much, because I would heard people had told me about it, and like my friend group was super into it, and I was just like, all right, fine, I'll give it a watch. And I've told you before, I had no idea it was an anime, so when I went into it, I was like, oh fuck, anime again? I'm going back? And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't like this. But we'll see. Eventually, I'll go back and I'll give a proper review. Once I finish Hunter x Hunter, though.
If you watch this, put Loose Watch Attack on Titan into the chat.
Huh?